So, so get a cold. This can help with inflammation, and this is what I've been doing a lot of, is putting cool, cold packs onto my face, especially. But it can help anywhere in the body. But it helps like clear out any swelling or any pooling. Because when you have a lot of damage, a lot of swelling, a lot of flushing needs to happen because there's a lot of healing going on. So we put the cold pack on to cool down all the inflammation, which will help flush it. I would flip it over to make the colder side on because it can handle it pretty cold. That's pretty good. Yeah. And then it really relieves a lot of the inflammation. I can even just feel things flushing. So this is something you can do if you have any inflammation in your body at all, or if you have any swelling going on in your face. You can just put cold pack on to help flush it out, to squeeze out the tissues, flush out that inflammation. And you want to keep hydrated. You want to keep allowing your body to feel like it can flush and heal and repair, because that is possible only if you support and nurture your body. Now, I've had arthritis, which is since 2009. I had a damage in my neck that had pinched the nervous system. So I have struggled with that and combated that and reversed the diseases of that. But it can be quite the challenge at times. And to get ahead of it always can be, it requires extra focus and effort. Things like this, lowering the inflammation helps, because you don't want to have a chronically inflamed body. You won't be your fittest, you won't be your strongest, your nervous system won't work properly, your alignment of your spine won't work properly. Your nervous system can give out. It's constant pain. So these are the kind of things that I help people reverse. To understand disease and how to reverse it is, first of all, you have to have the desire to. Now, when I had this damage, this injury incident occur with the police on June 7th, and the security and the grocery store, a lot of emotional trauma, which can also hold a lot of pain in the body and create inflammation and stress and flare-ups at any point. Like, they can just be triggered emotionally. All those pain that I experienced from being jarred, from being withheld against my will, from being pushed around, from being cuffed very tightly, from being manipulatively spoken to and intimidatingly spoken to, and all of that. So the surge of the stress, the surge of the confusion, the surge of the hormones that kick in, and then the actual physical abuse, the combination is just quite the doozy. So if you've gone through any abuse, this is a really good way to calm yourself down, is to have this cooling on you, right? And you can put that anywhere on your head. And so whether you've had abuse or not, this will help with fever, will help with inflammation of any sort. It can really help bring out pain and tension out of there. So it's really good to do that. And the other great big thing I've been doing is soaking in the Halsa, in the flotation tanks, which is great for helping realign the body, pulling out the inflammation, clearing the body of stress. Because magnesium, the more stress you have, the more magnesium is pulled out of your body, and Epsom salt's full of magnesium to soak up. It's also very antiviral to be soaking in the Epsom salts. Really calming and relaxing. So I'm just going to put this here, this cold pack here, along here, to help with cooling down any inflammation. And then I'm just going to go through this scan right here with the head. And so, thank you, assistant is going to help me here to just go through the head a little bit and scan it, like to take notice of where it feels more inflamed than others. Now, on the right side is more inflamed than the left. In this area, it's inflamed. Now, you say, oh, well, what kind of injury is that? So tell us what you feel.
Well, I can feel the swelling of additional swelling than normal.
Can you see it at all?
No,
It's hard to see it,
yeah.
see, but you can.
But you
It's
can
hard to
definitely
really
feel.
film it, but you can feel it. And the good thing is to go through these kinds of things yourselves, especially if you've been injured, just to be aware for yourself and your own healing, but also to make a report of any injuries that if you've been in an incident, okay? But if you're healing just because you've been in your own, chronic pain or something, you can scan through by having either yourself or someone else and just jot it down or do a video just to keep your own notes of healing.
Yeah, because that swelling just continues on behind the ear and down, and goes right into the neck and under the skull. There's a lot of additional swelling and blockage.
Yeah,
What feels
a
like
lot of
what
blockage.
it feels like blockage. Yes.
A lot of held tension, right? So if we're resisting pain or being abused, you tend to grip in the muscle, and to relax takes a lot to trust, right? And in my abuse, my head was actually grabbed as I was being pushed to the ground at one point. That could have something, I don't know. There was a lot of drying. It went on for 3 hours, so wouldn't know exactly, other than the whole body was triggered, and any injuries I've ever had in the past completely flare up. Like any weak spots can flare up, and you now have to recover even more so. And there are new injuries that I could feel in my back as well. Anything that I've recovered in my life seem to flare up and are even worse than they ever were. So I might be jolly and moving around. That's me doing my best to push through the pain and not be dead and not be giving up. So what if we move around? I'm being real with what I really feel in there and what's going on in there. You need to move around to push through it. I'm not one to really whine and complain, but it's good to body scan and know and be able to communicate exactly what's going on. So that's the most is in this side and even into the neck. And you can see all this extra swelling. This sort of stuff has a lot to do with the neck not feeling strong enough to hold up like this, because it's all squished down, because it's all bunched up. Okay, and this can happen even at someone's desk, that they get that messed up. Again, the cold helps with flushing. And this, what are you doing there? You're just pulling it out, right?
Mm-hmm. Breaking it up.
Yeah, so that's the part one of this body scan. You start somewhere, start at the head and what's going on in the muscle, anything that's extra inflamed. Is there anywhere else in the scalp that you feel is pretty swollen compared to that spot?
It really starts near the temples.
On both sides.
On both sides, but more on the right. And then
Yes.
and then again, it's all, the majority is on the right, but you can feel it on your left hand side as well.
Yeah,
Again,
it's still tight in the neck.
just in the base of the skull and moving down. So it's just right in there.
See? My God, look how you can feel it. Look at this. There's a lot to do with not being able to stretch my neck up because it's just so jarred in there.
Yeah.
To move that out of your system, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of focused work. Mm-hmm. Recovery, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And also, it's very emotional, so even if you clear it, it may just jump right back in there as soon as you feel a little bit, like if I were to feel something trigger me or get me upset. So being able to channel that energy properly without me being a victim and without someone else being a victim of feeling charged by it. How to use this energy properly, right? How to clear it out. And another good thing is do your own scan, but then go ahead and go to someone when you can, like a RMT or someone who's also a profession like a physio or someone who specializes in maybe craniosacral or something, or acupuncture or the doctor or the chiropractor, so that they as well, like, even though you've done your body scan to show like what's hurting, what you can feel, but it's hard to videotape or capture it in a photo, really, because it's very internal what's going on, right? Well, if you get the other professional also to, without you even telling them, you can have them record and scan and say what's inflamed or what they notice is blocked, and they most likely will be seeing the same stuff you do if they're good at their job. And then they can also just be verifying it without you even prompting them, but just you have the report of what's going on internally, because it affects a lot to be jarred around, to be brutally battered and treated physically, moved around, pushed around, confined, scared at the same time. So, many blessings and healing wishes to you. This is part 1, and that was just in the scalp. Was there anything else in the scalp that we could find?
That's the bait.
Not really, right?
No.
Maybe in the ears. This any
Behind,
like
right
if
behind
you
the ears, yes.
behind the ear, but even if you press sometimes in the ear, if you're pressing in here, you can feel different swellings. This one I noticed has more swelling, like not red, but just this one is not as swollen. If you push in the spot, you can feel swelling or tenderness, and this one has more. This one's way, like, feel the difference. Push into it, not in their hole, but just in this part.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Feel how so
There's
much
some crunchies.
Yeah, there's something like, and that has to do with fluid too, and blockages and pressure. And if you do this one, feel a difference. This one's healthier. It's not having to go down here. Yeah, it's tender. It is tender,
It's not the same.
but it's not fucked up. All of this makes a little difference, right? How you're feeling and how do you heal that? That has a lot to do with a lot of this swelling that's strong over here. Damage and injury, and each expert will have a different take on what they know or feel and see the connections, right? And then also you can feel it into my face. So try move from there. It feels good. See, that's gonna feel great. Massage that for an hour, like that's gonna.
I can do that.
Okay. And here, do you feel the swelling continue into the face?
Yes. Yeah, it comes from under the jaw. And you can actually see it right here. From the jaw up to the jawbone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that feels really good. You can feel how deep the damage is in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's all connected to the jarring and how late it works. Any flaring up. In the ear is a little bit.
A little bit.
Because also like clenching from the stress. Just if someone's attacking you, clenching from stress, but even the stress of after effect of just feeling like, oh my God, how am I going to solve this mystery? Or, like, how am I going to deal with this stress? You're not really, you're constantly thinking like a Rubik's Cube, or trying to understand, like, how would lawful authority be abusing me like that, How would any people in a grocery store be freaking out like How come there was no reasoning, no concern of hurting? Right? So then there's this clenching, could just hold in the jaw. So a lot of that tension comes also from the stress. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So to let go of that takes a lot. It takes a lot of focus. Like somebody that wants to focus with you to clear this stuff, to help you just release it, cry, whatever you need to do, scream. I don't know. it's just a lot of emotion to be able to process. Steady. You want to find steady, okay? If you're helping someone or someone's helping you, these body scans, really important to healing, right? Anywhere else? All over. It's just a little bit swollen. See, you start right there. In the eyes, like now, I don't see a lot of swelling up here. I don't feel a lot of anything. It's pretty cool there. Pretty good. Pretty good. This here is, this has been a lot swollen in here. It keeps swelling. It's not too tight or tender there or anywhere other than there's just a lot of swelling to just keep flushing out the swelling. Ugh. That's about all we got for the head. Covered that. Scan one.